And ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of YouTube's premier appliance repair off the clock tech talk. I'm your host with the most, Brother B, and you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. And ladies and gentlemen, uh, thank you for being part of the network. We'd like to wish you a happy new year. And with all that out the way, we want to just get into some news. We still have the March workshop refrigerator repair 101. Come down, learn how to fix ice makers, learn how to put units into defrost mode, learn how to read schematics, so forth and so on. As far as news, that's all I got now. With that out the way, I'd like to introduce you guys. I like to get right down to business, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, when you guys see me with the New York Yankee hat on, that means that this is a special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to this young man that I have here in front. Ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, I began my career in actually HVAC school. That's correct, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a special shout out to the San Diego Continuing Education Center. You know, they had an HVAC course for free. And I signed up and I made it to the class. And ladies and gentlemen, we had to stand up and all introduce ourselves. And as this guy got up and said, I'm Joe Blow from over here, I'm Joe Blow from over there, everybody gave their speech. There was one guy, this young man that you guys see here in front of you. He says, ladies and gentlemen, no, he didn't say that part. He said, hello, guys, my name is Juan Pablo, JP. I do appliance repair and I have my own company. I work for myself and nice to meet you all. And as soon as I heard that, ladies and gentlemen, I said, oh my God, that's the guy I got to meet. As soon as the class was over, I shook his hand, I introduced myself, and ladies and gentlemen, how long it's been now, my brother? 6, 7 years? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you guys to a special treat. And I want to introduce you to not a friend, not a work partner, but a brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please show love to my good brother, Dr. JP, Dr. Appliances. Welcome to
Yep,
Shop
yep.
Talk.
What's up,
Talk about
everybody? What's
it.
up?
Talk
How's
about it.
everybody doing out there?
Tell them who you
Yeah.
are, JP.
Well, I'm just another guy trying to do living,
No, no,
but
no, 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 no. Your name
but
is
hey,
Pablo.
I
Where are you
was
from?
I was just another guy until we met, and then we became brothers.
That's
So
correct.
one day I was
Tell
just another
people where
guy.
you from.
Well, I'm originally from Mexico, Guadalajara,
Part of Mexico. Guadalajara.
Guadalajara y arriba Jalisco. No te rajes.
Que
So
viven todos los mexicanos que son parte de nuestro canal. Los quiero. Paz, amor y armonía. So you're from Mexico.
yeah,
Guadalajara. Okay.
Guadalajara. Yeah, I lived most of my life. Lived a raised couple years when I was little here in the States. Then went back to Mexico most of my life. Lived for 5 years in Puerto Vallarta. Prettiest city ever. I love it. Miss it. Then I've been here back in the States probably almost 10 years now. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for the people who don't know, what is it that you do? What's your company? What's your title? What do you do for a living?
Well, I just have fun with my life. I enjoy life doing appliance repair. I started this company um 7 years ago. 7 years ago, and I just decided to call it. When I was thinking for a name, it's like, man, what should be a good name, you know? So there were two names that popped into my head, and the first one was Doctor Appliances. So why? Because which is, it's like you go,
You have the
you
solution.
see, you see somebody, yeah, and if you think about it, it's pretty much. there's a lot of related stuff to like what a doctor does. Of we as clinicians, we do. We just go, we diagnose a problem. Sometimes we do surgeries. Sometimes it's something minor, but pretty much we don't fix people. What we do help fix their lives, though. So with appliance, so I just call it Doctor Appliances. Uh, Went to the city hall, just looking, see nobody had the name, got it, and boom, got it
Well,
rolling.
let's backtrack here, doctor. So that's how you got your appliance repair business up. But that's too easy. You got to tell us your journey. How the hell from Guadalajara did you end up even knowing about appliance repair? And that was even the thing. How'd you get into the field?
Yeah, I get asked a lot, and I always like to share it because it's also a testimony. So uh, for those who will hear about this and kind of understand what is spiritual and have faith, they'll get it a little bit more, I'm sure. Uh, but yeah, I mean, um, when I lived the last 5 years in Puerto Vallarta, I was a head waiter over there. It was pretty good money.
A
Uh,
head waiter.
Head waiter. Yeah.
Wow. What do you define as good money, sir? And I'll let you continue your speech.
Say
But
that
what
again?
is that you said you were a head waiter and that you were making pretty good money? And
Yep.
my question to you was, please define what is good money.
Well, good money. I was doing a month. You see, it's there were seasons because over there it's seasonal. There's a high season and there's a low season. So in the high season, you work pretty much at least 4 months without a day off. Yeah, you heard it right. 4 months without a day out at least. So you make good money, but then it comes the low season when you have to chill it, you know. But you made a good money for the rest of the year. You're still making money, but you just don't have to go crazy about it. Uh, but at the same restaurant, I had two jobs. I was a head waiter. I will open the restaurant at 4. So for everybody to come in, we'll open the doors at 5. We close around midnight, 12 till 30, just depending on the customers. And then the owner as well. Sometimes he'll say, "Well, it was 11:30. It was chill. Close it down." Sometimes it was busy till 1. And then in the morning, I work on the administrating part, just going to the bank and getting the change for the cashiers and stuff like that. So I'll do that on the high season just because there was more money. So I was making about 22,000 pesos a month. Uh,
For
I
those
was,
of us who aren't from Guadalajara, that's the equivalent of in gringo money.
yeah. So I mean, for those who are in Mexico, they know 22,000 a month. It's pretty good money. Uh, and that time the dollar was $10, 10 pesos a dollar. So I want to say two $2,000 a month, 2,200 a month.
Damn, that's not
With
bad though.
yeah,
So two
whatever.
grand doing
Yeah, just I had a good, I mean,
that's not too
salary,
shabby.
good salary, and tips were good. And then the owner of the restaurant on high season, since we didn't have a day off, he will give us an extra month. So it was pretty good. Um, so yeah, and then one of those times, I just got a new challenge from the Lord, and He said, "Just go." I didn't want to come, honestly. I didn't want to come at all. I was good. I was good over there.
Come where, my brother? Come where? Come to
San
America?
Diego, yeah, to the
Okay, San
United States.
Diego. Shout out to the 619 and the 858.
Yep.
And shout out
So,
to TMM Appliance Repair San Diego.
yep. So yeah, I mean, I came with that with the reason. I pray to God and I asked, like, okay, I don't want to move in my emotions. If you have a divine purpose for me, I'll go. because I said, wherever you send me, I'll serve you. So he gave me that purpose, which 10 years later, I'm starting to see that purpose. So just a lesson that I learned. It's sometimes we have a purpose, or the purpose is given to us. You get a word sometimes from God or from people, and we think it's for that moment that it's going to happen. But you have to build that. So when you receive either a prophecy or a purpose, that's where God is seeing you forward. That's where He's seeing you already. Sometimes things that you don't believe in, you even think you're capable of, but that's how God sees you forward ahead. So your job is to start working to get where God already told you He saw you. So that's why I'm here. So I
Whoa,
came.
whoa, 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 whoa. What kind of point A to point B is that? That's unacceptable, JP. So let's back up. You go from Guadalajara, you arrive in sunny San Diego, the 619, and you say, here I am. I want to jump into the appliance repair business.
No. That's where I was
How
going.
the hell do I do that? How do you
No,
do that?
I came, and my parents, they used to own a coffee shop on downtown. So I
Okay.
started working with a family business.
What's their name?
Deli Cafe. It was
No,
called.
your parents.
Oh, so my dad is called Jorge, and my mom
Hey,
is
Jorge.
Patricia.
And hey, Patricia. We love you.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
mom.
yeah.
Different names. All right, so go ahead.
So yeah, I started working with them, and my sisters worked there too. My sisters were the baristas. I was a cook. So I worked there for 2 years, but it's been just sometimes it's kind of tight, location, and especially San Diego, especially downtown, the rents are super high. So it was kind of
Hmm.
hard for just the business to give more. Uh, so I had to look for another route, just to make a little bit more money.
But
So
what I want is, how do you get to appliance repair? How do
yeah,
you
that's where
get
I'm
to?
going. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
That's where I'm
I
going.
love you.
So yeah, I started looking, just from friends around, friends from church, and I had like a job with construction like one day only, and then painting another day. So just here and there. So there's a good friend of mine from church that he has his store, and so of he what that's another story too, but he has a store, a retail store that back in the day he will just to get all the broken appliances, he'll fix it, and then he'll resell it. So and he was doing pretty good. So you know, when you're looking for a shadow, you find you're looking for a big tree. So that was him. I was looking for a
Mm.
shadow, and I went to a good tree.
Now we getting this.
So
Okay.
to get that coverage.
Now we
So I
get.
went
Okay.
and asking for a job, and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a job. Anything? I mean, I can help with." And he said, "Well, unfortunately, right now I don't need nobody. I'm good. But if you like, I can teach you the business." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I need to do anything." So I started going with him for 2 months. He wasn't paying me a salary. He was giving me a help a week, which he was not compared to a salary. But I will be there like as an employee. I will be there at 9 till they close sometimes, long days. So I'll just be there like learning all the calls that he was getting to repairs will go together. And then he was really kind, and he will start sharing half of the profit so I can start like having something to do. So I wasn't looking to do appliance repair. That's if, if that's how I started. But like, were you looking to do appliance repair? Were you interested? No, not at all. It was just something that I was hungry, and I did it to do something to eat, literally. So I was just looking for anything, and that's how he started helping me out. I kind of started to get the hang out of it, like how things work. But I still was afraid. We'll go to a house, and I was just like standing looking at him and see, just learning, pretty much just learning. So About a month and a half later that I started going with him, he receives a call from a fridge that it was not working, and he says, "Hey, Byron, you know, your turn to go. There's a fridge." And I was like in my mind, like, yeah, let's go. And he was like, "No, you go." I thought that we were still going together, as a team.
Mm,
So he
mm,
just sent me to the wolves, and I was like, "Whoa,
mm.
whoa, 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 whoa!" Like me alone. And he was like, "Yeah, you can do it." And I was like, "Shoo, okay." So the advice that he gave me, and it's something I can share today to you that are listening, and you're probably new, is that he told me, just go there, be secure, be confident, and just start taking things apart like if you know what you're doing. I was like, okay. So, because what I did, I got there, I opened both sides of the fridge. I didn't know what heck was going on with that fridge, to be honest. So I just pulled it up. I went on the back just to, feel safe and start just taking screws out, taking the back cover. Man, what is going on, man? And then I went to the front, take the front cover of the evaporator on the side by side. I didn't know what was going on. And the guy was like right there, So I said, "Oh, I need to go for a tool for my car." So I went outside, and the first thing I called Caesar, like, "Hey, this, and that. Like, what's going on?" And then he started guiding me, "Hey, is it cool in here? No, what about the coils? Well, yeah, they look like good, but so is the fan working?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's gonna be the fan, the evaporator fan motor." And I was like, "Okay." So I come back into the house all confident, like, you know,
Mm.
trying to check what he told me to check. And yeah, the fan was not spinning at all, was not rotating. So I just confidently said to the guy, like, "Oh, you see, yeah, that's a problem. It's the evaporator fan motor." So I'm telling you about 7 years ago about this, right? So I quoted the guy parts and labor $150. It was this Frigidaire side by side stainless steel refrigerator. So as a testimony, and this guy knows that really well because when we met, I'm gonna forward a little bit the story and then come back, but it matches. When we met on that HVAC class, he came to me. We started talking, and he asked me, "Hey, how much do you need to open a business?"
Talk about it.
Right?
Hashtag.
How much?
Hashtag talk about it.
How much? And this, I believe, great and impossible things can be done with so much, with so little. I'm a testimony.
Talk
So,
about it.
so he asked me, like, how much money do you need to start Appliance Repair business?
Mm-hmm.
And because you need to get license and permits and blah 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 and taxes and
All stuff. Talk about it.
so you can start a business. For sure, I know Appliance Repair business. You can start a business with $20. You don't
Mm.
need more than $20.
Mm.
So when today people ask me like how much money do you start at Dr. Appliances? I say $20. People like kind of laugh and don't believe it. I'm like, why $20? Well, yeah, because I didn't have nothing else. So at that time, I was living on our garage.
Mm.
That guy,
Talk
Caesar,
about it.
the one from the store, uh, he very kindly. He's a really really nice guy, and I owe a lot to him. Um, so yeah, he opened up his house and he said, I mean, you don't feel inside the house because it's just small house, but I have the garage, and I can help you with the garage, and while you settle up, get better, and then you get your place. So I was thankful for that. That day, I only had $20 left on my wallet. I didn't have no savings. I didn't have any money under the matrix. Nowhere. I only had a $20 bill on my wallet. That was everything I had left. But God is good. So that call comes in. I go. I quoted the guy $150. I went to the store. Fortunately, that evaporator motor was $20. 19 and some change.
It probably was a Subco.
ERP, yeah, ERP or Subco, I don't remember. Went back and
Probably
$20.
still work and still working effectively to this day.
And those my
Subco,
last
listen, hit the like, subscribe button, and email tmm.appliancerepair@gmail.com for business purposes. Continue, sir.
yeah. So those last $20 became $150. And I was so happy. I was so grateful. And honestly, at that point, I still didn't knew if I was gonna do that for a living. I just needed something to do for the moment. So I'm talking about August of 2013. So around 8 months passed by, and like I said, I was just doing that because I needed the money, not really because I was thinking into it. But it got to a point that I had to sit down and said, you know what? Do I want to keep doing this like for real as a living and get better and just do it seriously? And I said, you know, I think I can do it, and I like it. I like it. I like the challenges of figuring out problems and solving them. It's a really good feeling afterwards. Uh, so after 8 months, I decided that I was going to do this for a living, that I was going to do it seriously. So that's when next thing I did was like, hey, I'm going to get a name. Got the name, went for it, uh, got the license from the city, then went open a bank account for the business. And guys, it only takes you 3 hours to open up a business. Honestly, you can do all that procedures in 3 hours. Get your fictitious name, your license from the city, and a bank account in 3 hours, and you're set. So that's a testimony, because God is good. Uh, 7 years ago, those $20 that became $150. I can say that today, those $20, Dr. Appliances sells around 200 grand a year. And that's what God does with
brother, brother,
with
brother, brother JP, if I may, I just want to let you know that that was a speech of speeches. But I want to interject something as well. Look at how the universe works. I believe in a thing called karma and the law of attraction. This is just my little weirdo way. I believe that whatever you put out, you're gonna get back. It's as simple as that. And JP, my very first call was a Whirlpool direct drive. No, 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 no. Let me give my speech. You had the microphone for a while, and I didn't cut you off, which is impressive. But with all that said, I was working on the Whirlpool direct drive. I'll never forget it, JP. I was what was called moonlighting, where I had a regular 9 to 5 gig, right? And at that point, they had this system called appliance appointment. You would pay $18 and they'd give you a lead. I subscribed to it. I paid the initial fee and I was flat broke. Believe me. To pay the entrance fee to get those leads, like almost collapsed me.
yeah.
In fact, you started with $20. I started with negative $247 in my bank account. I digress. So now I get a call, and the guy says, very confidently too, by the way. Oh yeah, I have a washer that's not the water's not draining, blah blah blah. And I'm like, my heart's like this,
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
draining. Oh my god. That could be I was a rookie. Anyway, I get dressed. This is call number one. I get dressed. I put on my uniform. I'm suited and booted with a raggedy tool set. But that's for another. That's a speech for another day.
Yeah.
Show up to this guy's house. JP, I don't know what the hell I am doing. That same whirlpool now, I probably could do the entire job with my eyes closed. And I mean that for real, for real. It would
Yeah.
take me
Yeah.
a little while, but I can feel around and where the clips are. You fold that panel back and you take that flathead and you pop those two. You tilt the whole thing back. You go down. You take those two little bronze clips off, and there it goes. Home
Yeah.
run
Yeah.
with my eyes closed. But JP, I didn't know what I was doing. JP, I started checking the water valve inlet, the screens. I was checking the agitator. I was cold, but I had a guy. Oh, I had a guy. You see, there was this guy named JP that I went to school with him. He was already fast forward in his journey. By this time, he was in the garage and he was running around with Caesar. So with his little understanding of the game, he was able to help me. And he asked me, he says, "What happens when you pull the push to start now? Do you hear it like is it spinning?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "But is it draining?" And I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Okay, check the drain pump." Now, mind you, this here comes the real fun. The tub's full from the top to the bottom of water. And here I come. All right, let me check the drain pump. I take off the two hoses, the drain.
Cheers.
Woo! The guy comes and he says to me, "What's going on?" I tell him, "Sir,
It happens.
you got a towel?" Get the towel, shop vac. Woo! Oh man, it was a mess. But anyway, it ended up being a sock. And that same guy, JP, I asked him, "JP, how much do I charge for this?" I think it said something like 135. The pump cost me $20 at Coast Appliance Repair. And to the family at Coast Appliance Repair, if you're listening, I still got love for you. Still got my account. Hit the like, subscribe, share. But $20 at Coast, and put it in. And thank you, brother. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have completed that job. So the good that you did to me was a byproduct of what Caesar did to you. And
Exactly.
my challenge to the audience tonight is we all got to start somewhere. Everybody got to
Yeah.
start. But our industry, let's run a good industry, and let's always reach back for the fellow man and help him out. If
Yep.
he if he shows initiative, because one thing I can't do, JP, is a guy that calls me every 5 minutes and doesn't even put in the initiative. I can't do that though. But for guys that are really trying, look, give a guy his hand. But with all that said, JP, thank you for giving me help that day, and thank you for helping me on my first job. JP, I want to fast forward a little bit. I met you at the San Diego HVAC school. What were you doing there? What was your goal in that class, if I may ask?
So, like I said, when I decided that I was gonna do that, like seriously, and just just believe that I could have a business and become a company. I said, okay, well, God is good, God is faithful, God will do it. But then, what do I have? What's my part? What do I have to do? So um, it's just it's just not good, that feeling when you get to a place and you don't know what to do, and you don't understand how things work, and you're like, because then we'll probably come into this what we call a Harvard, right?
Mm.
Mm,
And for
mm,
those
mm.
who don't know what a Harvard, tell them what a Harvard.
So we
JP,
open. We
we got to do that part all over again. And we are live. Okay. So, JP, for those who don't know what is a Harvard, please tell the YouTube community what you and I call a Harvard.
So, just a little information. We all know what Harvard University is, right? Is it cheap to go to that university?
No, sir.
No, it's expensive. It's
Yes, sir.
expensive to get knowledge. That's the
Mhm.
message. But it's weird. So what happens when you don't educate yourself? You're
Mm.
just trying to figure out stuff on your own. You're just trying to guess, right? And it's
Yeah.
okay. We all get there. It's fine. Just don't make it a habit. So it happened to me that I'll go and, for an example, a washer. Uh,
Mm.
oh, it's just not doing anything. A top loader. Let's keep with that example of Whirlpool. It's not starting. Okay. So it's the lit switch, and then boom, you replace the lit switch, and then it's doing the same thing. And then, well, it's gonna be the timer, and
Mm.
boom, you replace the timer. Same thing.
Mm.
So now there, you're like, okay, where
You have
where
now
am I right
entered
now?
Harvard
I have
University.
no idea. I have no clue. So then it's like, and it was just that the overload of the motor was bad. That's it.
Mm.
Or a capacitor.
Mm.
Nothing. So meanwhile, you already put a lit switch. You already put in a timer. So by the end that you figure out the part that it was wrong, you already put all this money from your pocket because you already bought parts and installed them. And you cannot charge them to the customer because you already gave a diagnostic and you already gave a price. So at the end of the job, if it was good, you're like flat. Like the money you
Hey,
put
hey,
into it, you have it back. But sometimes you ended up putting more money into the job than what you get paid for it.
we're gonna do it right here on camera. How much would you say was the price that you gave the customer? Let's give a number.
Let,
189,
let's say with that example, a lit switch back in those days, 150.
150. Okay. So here we go. 150. Now, what did you put in so far?
Let's
What
say a
did you
lit switch,
Yeah, so that's $20, right?
yeah, 20.
We're at 130. Go ahead.
Timer.
That's $100. $80.
That can go from 85 to 120, your price.
Each. So let's put 100 just to as a ballpark. Right now, we only have a $30 profit. We haven't even factored in gas yet.
Yeah, and tax.
So what else are we gonna throw at?
So
Oh,
then, and then you figured out that it was, what do you want to say, a capacitor?
that's about what, 12? Oh, no, 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 no. That's about 20, $30.
$20.
$20.
Let's put 20.
You made a profit of $10.
Your time, your gas, and the price
Harvard.
of the part in the invoice.
Harvard
You put
University.
money into that job. So that's Harvard. It cost you money to learn what the problem was for that water.
Man, I was
So
JP, but I didn't know there was a better way, man. When I started this, I had no guidance. You remember?
yeah, yeah.
And you remember, JP? I brought the big yellow book, I mean the orange book, the Eric Kleiner book. You remember?
The Bible of Appliance Repair. I remember.
I love appliance repair, bro. Listen to this. I was in HVAC class. Remember Mr. Smith used to give, I'm going to bring him on Shop Talk. Remember Mr. Smith used to give like lessons? I was reading Eric Kleiner. I was learning defrost theory,
Mm-hmm.
how a heater element works. My heart, man, always was with appliance repair. I'm one of those students, you and I, and a lot of people I've met start with HVAC school and they always end up in appliance repair. I'm one of those people.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, man, I need to understand what I'm doing. So I found this course that it was for free, and it was HVAC and heating. Yeah, heating and AC. So I said,
Yeah.
well, I mean, principles how things work are the same. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get something out of it that I can apply to refrigeration. So yeah, there it was day one, and there we were, bro.
All right, now here comes the juicy part, the good part. Okay, now let's fast forward a little bit. You graduate from school. Oh wait, before we go any further, JP, I want to address something. I'm hosting a workshop. I hosted a workshop. I have a business partner. He teaches here at the local vocational school of appliance repair. They didn't have that in San Diego,
No,
like a
there's
school
none.
like that that you can learn appliance repair. Down here they do. Well, my partner and I, we partnered up and we did a workshop where we taught seal systems. It was a 4-day workshop and it was hands on. But you learn theory, you learn disassembly, you learn like component testing, top to bottom. And the thing is, JP, I charged 2 grand for the course, but I think about it, right? If you could learn sealed systems, top to bottom, and with a tech network of other guys that will help you and me and a gang of guys, how much money would you save investing in something as opposed to going to Harvard, to the appliance repair Harvard? I tell you this, I want to credit Samurai Appliance Repairman. That guy, when I seen like his take on appliances, because I had an electronic degree and I had the HVAC degree.
Yeah,
When I seen him, like, okay, and then I read the book and then I was like, click. It's just like, I don't know, it did something in my head. But I say all that to say this, man. Guys out here, they part change, they don't know what they're doing. They they end up losing money, man. If you don't educate yourself, you end up losing money. That's just my little two
yeah,
cents.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, it's gonna cost you money. And like I said, we all went through it, and it's okay when you starting. And every once here and there will still happen even after, because things are changing. They're new now, but like I said before, just don't make it a habit. Don't let that become your way of working, because yeah, it's just not right. And customers, they're gonna freak out. They're gonna get itchy about it, and then they're gonna have to call somebody else like us to fix your problem plus a problem, and then try to solve a a, a hurting customer. So it's just giving value to the business all around. It benefits all everybody.
Brother, after you and I graduated, I still continued to maintain my regular 9 to 5. But you were running your appliance repair business full time. You was during school. I remember school was like 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. You were working appliance repair in your uniform. You would go right from appliance repair to HVAC school. And I wanna tell the YouTube community, ladies and gentlemen, I remember what this guy was driving. This guy was driving a red Toyota Corolla from like 1986. What year was it?
94.
It was a 94. What do you want from me? This guy was driving a red 94 Toyota Corolla to do appliance repair. And I remember, JP, you had that thing organized, man. You had it compartmentalized. There wasn't a crevice in that car that you didn't have like a little hook hanging with something appliance repair or a little box or some parts. Or ladies and gentlemen, I even remember this guy used to do installation. And guess what? He used to put the dryers on the roof of the Toyota Corolla,
Yep. Believe
and
it or not.
he would ask me, he would say, "Hey, yo, brother B, I need you to help me take this to the second floor with the people, please." And I would be like, "All right, well, how are we gonna get there?" "Oh, I'm in my Corolla." And bro, I remember you would put the aircraft straps, tie it down, and you would drive your Toyota Corolla to make a delivery. But
Yeah.
JP, you know what though? At the end of the day, there's nothing like funny about that in a comical way. And if anything, that's just motivation. That like, if you really want a dollar, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get. You know how many guys would have said and gave up and said, "Man, I got a Toyota Corolla. I can't do appliance repair. I need a big van. I
Mm-hmm.
need I need a Nissan MV, 350 high top." Brother. When you want to get it, you could get it. So you started doing appliance repair now. How's the money? How's your lifestyle? No more living in the garage. How'd that all transpire?
So after I was lived in that garage about a year, almost a year.
Dang.
And I literally really started from the bottom. And like you said, like I will put dryers on top of my car to
Mm.
get that extra $20. And you know what? Even like I
Shout
will
out
be
to those
driving
20
to
bucks,
a job.
man. Yeah.
I will be driving to a job and I will see a
Yeah.
dryer on the sidewalk and I was like, "Ah, money." And I will check it out myself, carry it out on the top of the car, strap it up,
Amen. Yo,
go
yo, yo.
to the job. And yeah, there was some people that like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "How do you put that?" And yeah, but one thing that I've learned, and I know we talk about this, is that one thing is you got to do what you got to do.
Amen.
Secondly, one of the most important things I remember this bro right here. He said,
Mhm.
"JP, when he was living here in San Diego, he was, you know how many people do appliance repair? Because we will go to Coast Appliance or APC, and there's a lot of techs going in. And he says, there's a lot of people in San Diego that they do appliance repair. But you know what's the difference between them and us? What is it, bro? That we
Oh no,
are
you put me on the spot, bro. What did I
that
say?
we are what?
The professional.
Professionals. Yeah,
Always. Day
yeah,
one, bro.
yeah,
Early.
yeah. So
Brother,
there's
let me ask. Go ahead, go ahead.
just close this in real quick. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people that will do appliance repair just like you. But if you do a professional, you're gonna make the difference, and people will like you, will recommend you. So one thing is you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta be professional, and being professional, a lot of the times it's doing what nobody else wants to do.
Mm,
That's the hard part.
mm,
Because there's a lot of people that, like you said, is they just change parts. They're not
mm,
tech. They just people that change parts. But there will be jobs. Don't get used to easy money because let's be honest. Appliance repair, it's easy money when it's a bad fan motor, when it's a relay, when it's a
mm,
pump.
mm.
But
Until
but
it's an
not
LG
all the
dual
time.
that
Not
still
all the
tends
time.
to headache.
Not
Mm,
all the time. Not all the time is a relay. Not all the time is a
mm,
common parts. And
mm,
sometimes they're gonna run into a Harvard. So and there's not a lot of people that when they see it that it's a tough one, they don't go into it. So if you're gonna make a difference in this business or just in your life generally, you can apply it to no matter what. It's that sometimes you're gonna have to do what nobody else wants to do, and that will make a difference. And another one. Here's my extra 2 cents.
Go ahead, brother. Talk about it.
Um, I've learned something, and it's that in order to keep doing what you love and like to do, you have to do what you don't like to do. I'll repeat it
I
again.
call
In
that.
order,
Wait. I'm sorry now. Give me a chance here, brother. I call that being comfortable, being uncomfortable. As you're in that recall and that customer's breathing down your neck, you got three other jobs. It's 4:30 p.m. and you're like, damn, it's gonna be a late night.
gonna be longer, and I have plans.
It's at that point when you gotta strap up your boots and say, yo, I sound good for this. I'm an appliance repair technician. And you know what? I'm gonna conquer this bastard that I'm on right now. You kick its ass. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But that takes grit. That takes determination. That takes busted knuckles and busted fingers. That takes all of that. Real tech, you know? But that's what separates us from them, JP.
Yep. Yep.
And shout out to everybody that's like JP and or we're like y'all, because we home stop. We just products of real text. So JP, the audience is not gonna be denied a success story tonight. No, not at TMM Appliance Network. Ladies and gentlemen, JP went from that. So let's fast forward a little bit, JP. You got your first tech.
Yep.
And then you got another tech.
Yep.
But let's talk about the first tech. So you got your first hire, man. Congratulations. How'd that turn out? What was the pressure like with that? What were you thinking? Why did you get a tech? Talk about it.
So the very first tech, I hired him uh, like an employee with a salary because he was not a technician, but he had a really good background on electrician and just he actually studied for engineer, so he had a really good background, but he didn't work on appliances. But he's those type of guys that um, he's really handy and he understands, he learns fast and stuff. So uh, actually, I met him on a house. He was working on construction, and I worked with an oven, and he helped me out with some electrical issues. And I just saw how he was working, and I liked it. And then I kept his phone because as an electrician, and then things happen, with customers sometimes on a job. So I called him, and I saw that he was a fast guy to work. He was clean. He knew what he was doing. So I just, throw a little cent right there, like, hey, if any day you want to change your work, and here's an open door if you want to think about appliance repair. So one day we were talking, probably like after a year and a half, and well, he came to the team. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was like, because it's different when you subcontract, because there's no like weight on your shoulder that you have to pay. It's just by job. You get a job, you pay. You don't get a job, you don't have to pay.
Commission based. It's
But
commission based.
yeah, it's commission. But we have an employee. No matter if the phone is ringing or if it's not ringing, you have to pay. So that was my first guy, and yeah, I mean there was days, weeks that they were pretty good.
May I interrupt you real quick?
Yeah,
What did you to feel like you needed a guy? Did you have an increase in work volume? Were you like, you know what? I'd rather play the office and have somebody that knows the industry better, front line, and I'll remain in the back. Like, what was your um explanation as to why you hired your first tech?
So it's just believing for greater things. But yeah, definitely I started like it was weeks or days that I was full for the day and I was still getting calls and I was like, man, I need somebody else to help me. But then the next week it was like one call a day, two calls a day, three calls a week, So it was like, oh, so I think I need to wait. So it
It
was
was
kind
up
of
and
like
down.
that. Yeah, it was kind of like still in that like stretching, but not, but yeah, but so and I said, you know what, I just need to believe in it, and so when I saw that it was starting to get busy, like I jumped him in, and yeah, it went good. Thank God, it went good. There was weeks that it was not that good. Not gonna lie. Sometimes my take was making more money than I did in a week. Why? Because, like I said, when you have an employee, no matter if the phone rings or not, you have to pay him. So he became my priority. Um, not because he's more important, but because he's an employee. And if you're a serious company, then you have to, just do things. Like I said, you have to do what you have to do. So sometimes I'll eat 2 meals a day, but I'll make sure he eats his 3 meals a day. And most likely because he has a family, that he needs to bring the food to the table. So that was my concern. That's why priority. But yeah,
Ladies and
that was.
gentlemen, hit the like button for JP and for being a stand-up guy and making sure his text eats first. Hit the like button. JP, I want to commend you, JP. You're a good guy, man. Guy. That's awesome, man. And then you got a second tech.
Yeah. So then he left. He went back to construction because he got promoted and he got an opportunity to get more money, and we were really really always pretty straightforward, and he was pretty, no lies, no nothing. He actually still helps me today when I get some jobs that I mean, on the weekends or stuff here and there. Sometimes he still helps me, so we're good terms. He's making good. I'm happy. And then I went on my own again. But then I was already with that, like being able to have a tech or doing more jobs than just myself. So fortunately, yeah, I got another really nice guy that has a great customer service. I met him on Coast.
Coast Appliance. Shout out to Coast Appliance. If you listen
One more time, yeah.
button
But
and
I
business
just want to
inquiries,
make it
please
clear. I
contact
didn't
him
I
dot
didn't brought him out
gmail.com.
from Coast. I just want to make it clear. I didn't rob an employee. No, no, no. He went
Oh,
out. I met him there, and there's
good luck.
two brothers actually,
Yeah.
Jonathan and Byron. You guys are
Shout
awesome.
out to brother
Yeah,
Jonathan, brother Byron. Maybe we could get them on here one day.
yeah, yeah.
Think they'll speak good about you?
Yeah, I hope.
That's all I can
I'm
say.
sure. I'm sure.
I
Yeah.
tried. I'm a good guy.
Yeah, we met them when they were employees at Co's, selling parts in a retail store, and they both had about a year out from the store. They were doing it on their own. So one day, I think I met Byron outside of Coast, or Jonathan. I don't remember who of them two, but yeah, I just called Byron, and like he was kind of in need of needed
Employ.
more jobs, more calls, so he jumped into the boat um, about a year and a half ago, and yeah, I mean, with him, I did subcontract, which is just makes everything easier for both, honestly, because he's not tied to a schedule 9 to 5. He works his own schedule. Um, I'm not have that weight that I have to pay him, every week or every 2 weeks. Um, he gets commission from every job, so that pushes him to be more responsible and just have make it good, And he's a really committed guy. He he's thankful with me. I'm thankful with him. We're making a good team, and all of this that we're talking, I share it with him. I've been sharing with him for a year and a half, and he's glad, he's thankful, same me. So we help each other, and I think this is. I'm good that you're doing. I'm happy that you're doing this YouTube channel, because it's not just about the money, guys. Honestly, uh, it's not just about them. There's a time and there's a moment, and I taught this to Byron. It's don't be greedy about the money, because you can get sometimes really good profit on a job, but don't be greedy, because what goes around comes around. So
Mm.
it's not just about the money. So what I'm saying, it's this is really good. Why? Because it's a matter of building a community, building family, building relationships, which I think is more important. It's one of the things that I teach my techs is when you see a customer, don't see the sign of money. I know probably that week you're in need, but don't let that. Don't become greedy. Don't see the customer with a dollar sign. See him as a friend. Build a community. Build a relationship. Try. You're there to help. That's your job. Help,
Mhm.
and things will go good when you try to help and when you do it right. So, and sometimes, hey, it's gonna happen. And I know you've been in that situation. I've been in that situation. That week or that day, you're short on money. You go to a job, and the call says, I can think of an example right now, but uh, they tell you what the problem is, and you're already making numbers in your mind, like, oh, it's gonna be this, and I'm gonna charge him this, and the part is this much, so I'm gonna make this profit. Oh man, I made
And
my day,
I'll do
thank
that
God.
when
And
I
you
get
get there,
there.
and it's a diagnostic. It was something so simple, but like something just and you, because these are thoughts that they come like, I'm just gonna say it's this part so I can still get that money that I already thought. But that's not right. That's not being honest, you know? So that's what I teach my techs. Like, don't see the customer with a sign of money. You're helping me. Why? Because today you're a tech and you make money from them. Tomorrow you're a customer. And what goes around comes around double. Double.
But if not, it goes to your kids. You
Yeah.
know, That-
Yeah.
that's what straightened me out, JP. I wasn't always this kind of a guy. I was a real douchebag. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. But once I learned about karma, I said, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I humbled myself and I said, I gotta, change the way I do things here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's worked wonders for me, JP, because I've learned that the more positive that I am, even the universe is more positive back to
Yeah.
me. I get more calls, I get reviews. I won't be expecting it. I'll get like a check from a warranty company. Oh, look at
Yeah.
this. I didn't even expect it. Like,
I
like,
forgot about this. Yeah.
yeah, like but okay, so let's move fast forward. We're coming up on the hour, but
Oh,
I'm gonna stretch it a little bit. It's
okay.
1:44. It's 1:44 a.m. in the East Coast Standard Time. I had to stay up, ladies and gentlemen, in order to host this shop talk. Well,
Thank
JP,
you, my friend.
I wanna give the subscribers the best. So I have to make the sacrifices.
You have to do
So
what you have to do.
gotta do what I gotta do. So now we're painting a picture, painting a portrait. We got you when you first came from Guadalajara, America, to the garage, to the red Corolla, to the two techs. We're at the hour mark now. Let's talk a little bit about what's the direction. And you and I definitely got to do a part 2 and 3 because there's so many stories you and I
Oh,
left out. But for now, for time's sake, what's the plan for you? What's the overall goal? Where are we going with this thing?
yeah. um, I share you with you, and in the 2019 that I really believe, and I want to believe for more and better. So my goal is 10 techs.
Whoa, talk about it. Hit the like
So
and share button,
yeah,
ladies and
yeah. I
gentlemen.
know it's
Donate to the channel. Please purchase our merch. And, 10 text. There you go. I love it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Obviously,
Ready for that kind of an operation?
huh?
I said, are you ready for that kind of an operation? Do you know what that
Uh,
entails?
Not today, to be honest, not today. But I'm working on it. I'm working
Amen,
on
bro.
it.
We're gonna
So
get there.
this year, I'm gonna be focused a lot of putting that foundation for those 10 techs. So I'm gonna be working on systems. I want to see if I can create an app for the techs and stuff. So just to see their schedule availability, so they can see a job, they can probably charge. through the app or do invoicing. So there's a lot of things in mind that I have for this year. So this year is going to be still on the field, but I want to focus a lot on building that foundation to have a system on your business. That I believe that when you create a system on your business, the business doesn't need you. So
Mm.
if if you're able to put for the business to understand your heart and run it, people run the business with your heart, you're set. And I can say, I mean, biggest example is when do you see the owner of McDonald's on a McDonald's?
Mm. Never.
When do you see Warren Buffett on a Walmart?
Never. If Warren Buffett owns Walmart, shout out to Warren Buffett. If you're watching, please hit the like,
Right?
subscribe, share
Why?
button.
Because he was able to create a system that will understand his heart for that business and transfer it to the employees and at all levels. But it's a process. So that's my goal for this year. Start just preparing, like I said, building that foundation to get more leads, obviously. Uh, but be prepared, be ready to support all those leads and bring more people into the boat. One of my prayers always beginning of the year is that this business will be able to bless families. That through this business, people can bring their food to the table to their family. So I like helping. I like teaching is one of my biggest passions. Uh, and yeah, like you said, it's just we're passing the ball. You know, Caesar. We both know teacher Baldelio, right?
Shout
So
out to people out there.
yeah,
And for the fans who don't know, and for
he's
the subscribers who don't know, this is a guy that's from Mexico that could put maybe 3 or 4 English words together at his best. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is a sealed system animal. This guy will do the impossible with sealed systems. So shout out to brother Bob there. If you're watching this, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button.
yep. So I mean, he was taught by somebody. He taught Caesar for pretty much for free. He just shared the knowledge. Caesar shared his knowledge to me for free. Um, I share my knowledge to you for free, and that's
Amen.
like I said. That's how we create community, and then it becomes family. So yeah, just I mean, I'm thankful from where I was, from where I started to where I am, and it was because of the grace of somebody, and obviously from God. So if I'm able to share that too with somebody, if I'm able to build someone else's life, hey, let's do it. Let's do it.
JP, we're on the exit. We're on the last lap here of the
We're gonna
marathon.
need part two, bro.
Oh no, for
Sorry.
sure, for sure. But I'm only gonna bring you on. I give all of my guests a challenge. So I'll only bring you back on if you pass a certain threshold in your goal.
Oh yeah.
So I'll bring you back on when you get 5. You get to the halfway mark, I'll bring you back on to ask you how it's going. But JP, before I let you go, brother, I wanna give the YouTube community. I'm sure your message touched some people out there that I couldn't touch them, but you were able to. And I want to connect all the viewers if they have any questions, if they want to reach out to you, or if you want to sell something, you have some product that you're doing, or something that you want to publicize. Now's your chance, brother. Go ahead. How can people get a hold of you? What do you got to say?
So you can look and find us on Facebook, Instagram, dr.appliances. My email it's dr.appliancessd@gmail.com. I'll say that again. So dr for doctor, abbreviation doctor, dr.appliances, plural, sd for San Diego, @gmail.com. Uh, webpage same thing, drappliancessd.com. Right now we're building a new webpage, so right now you're not gonna find it. We're in a transition of rebuilding and stuff, but it will should be live soon. Uh, yeah. So I
Am I gonna see you at ASTI?
let's do it.
No, no, no. Do you know what I mean when I say ASTI? The
What is it?
Annual Servicers Technical Institute. They're holding it in St. Petersburg. Samsung's gonna be there, Whirlpool, all the big players. It's the conference. Are you gonna come down?
I know. Is it on the East Coast this year?
This year's on the East Coast.
Yeah, because
They
I know
do it a
they
lot in
do.
San Diego too sometimes.
Yeah, there was on February. Normally they do it here, February or March, sometime when we're there. Sometimes they do it.
To the East Coast this year?
So
Or do I
this
have
year
to
it was East Coast. I guess this year is East Coast. Next year
I'll,
will
I'll
be
come to the West Coast. I'll come to the West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to make it to the West Coast. Please go below, hit the link, and please support the channel. JP, I just want to let you know, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, I feel like in life you run into people that for sure, man, they're like family, even though they're not your family. And you're one of those people. And JP, you've been a stand-up guy from day one with me. You're saying to me was this, and I'm gonna say it in Spanish and try to translate it in English. Amigo claro, amigo a lo largo. Basically, like as long as we upfront with one another, we're gonna have a good relationship. JP, you always been a stand-up guy, man, and thank you for everything. Thank you for giving me this time of your life. Thank you for divulging your personal testimony. I love you. Thank you for being part of Shop Talk. The floor is yours, brother. I'm all wrapped up here.
well. I'm just gonna wrap with yeah. Just thanks, bro. Thanks for the invitation. It's a really pleasure. It's a really blessing and an honor to be here with all, reaching so many people. Like you said, something that will help. I hope this inspires you to do better, to believe that you can do it, that there's a lot of resources, tools, and it's good. If you do things good, it's gonna go good for sure. So yeah, I just encourage you to educate yourself, do the best you can, and enjoy, enjoy.
There
So
you
thank
have
you.
it, gentlemen. Another episode of Shop Talk, YouTube's premier off the clock appliance repair talk for appliance repair technicians. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button. I'm your brother B. This is your brother JP. And who else would you rather be with than us? Love, peace, and harmony. Thanks for being part of the network. JP, I love you, brother. Take care.
Love you too, man. God bless.
All right, brother. See you soon, man. God bless.